Hi, welcome to today's stream. Hold on a second, sorry, just turning off the preview there. Welcome. I know my streams are usually very fun and upbeat and uplifting, and they're still going to be for this one, because obviously I don't want it to be complete depression central. But I've wanted to talk about Article 13 for a while now, because I've always been I've never really talked about it, because obviously I know politics can be a very depressing subject, and very, oh god, it's politics again, we're talking, sorry, I am always adjusting my camera. There's always, oh, it's politics again, why are people discussing this? It's just, it gets boring. And I understand that it gets boring, it can get extremely boring, and I often find it quite annoying myself, but this is something that affects all of us that are watching this right now. It affects you watching at home, it affects me making the content I'm making right now, it affects Twitch, it affects YouTube, it affects every single online platform, and it's something that needs to be talked about more because it's important. It's going to change how we use the internet, it's going to change our lives, and it's something that, while it's brought up a lot, it still needs to be brought up as much as possible. But your country leaves the EU soon. And yes, it does. I know it does. But I still want to talk about it because I don't care if it's just happening to my country. That's not an internet. That's not something that we should be. That's not a way we should be thinking. If it's happening in a country, you still need to talk up about it because that means that country is going to be blocked off. Even if my country leaves the EU, the UK, there's still other countries in the EU that are going to end up with that same censorship, which isn't correct. No one should have to worry about uploading something that they think is creative and then having it taken down by a robot that doesn't know any better from good and bad. So I have set up I have a couple of petitions, and for this stream, every, I think about 10 minutes, if there's like a few lines of stuff, then it will post up a link to a petition. So if you want to go and sign that, please be sure to. It is very important, and I highly recommend going and signing it. I'm going to bring it down a tiny bit because I feel like it needs to be submitted a bit more. But it really needs to be talked about, and I want to give my personal opinion on the matter because when the whole net neutrality thing began over in America, I took it very seriously. It's something that I've taken seriously, and I've never really... obviously, I've joked about it a bit because that's the point, but it's something that I don't want to happen because it's internet censorship, which shouldn't be a thing. The creator of the internet himself, Tim Berners-Lee, has even said so, that he finds all of the rules completely idiotic, and the government doing these sorts of things is just something that shouldn't happen whatsoever. I might repeat a lot of the words that I say, and I apologise for that. It's nice to have you on stream, Max. And I apologise if I do repeat a lot of what I say, but I'm just trying to get the point across that this is not something that should even be considered in the first place. Copyright can be dealt with in many different ways, but this is not one of them. Robots should not be the ones that can control what we do and do not post on the internet. That should be decided down to a human, and a human alone. Obviously there can be some robots, but for nothing this major, such as uploading content from the start. So I've set up, to start off with, I've brought up a couple of petitions. Hopefully my music quieter than my thing, by the way. I've got up a couple of petitions on my computer here. So the first one, which will be posted in the chat every so often, we're talking about the Memepocalypse? Yeah, pretty much. But the first one I have up here, which is probably the biggest one that I found, and I found to be very useful, was on change.org. This one currently has about 4 million petitions with petition signatures, which is very nice. And it does go on to explain how Article 13 works. So for anyone who doesn't know what Article 13 is properly at the minute, it is the idea that anything that you upload to the internet will basically be taken in by a robot. It will be upload filters to stop copyright from happening. Now, this would be great. In principle, it's a brilliant idea because it stops copyright fraud, it stops people stealing other people's content, and it's just a generally good thing. However, the government subscribed for 2 months. Thank you so much, Gleany. That's really sweet of you, buddy. It's lovely that you decided to come and subscribe to us. Thank you so much. And save our planet. We do need to save the planet because this is important. This is something, again, that determines what we do on the internet as people. And a lot of what we do is just reuse. Obviously, you can't create original content every time. That's physically impossible. There's so much content on the internet. The government subscribed for 2 months. Yes, the government subscribed. But you can't make original content every time. It's humanly impossible. Someone is going to have done something that you've done before. It's just human nature of taking and reusing, but a lot of the time it's reusing in a good way. Memes, some of them are pretty bad, let's be honest. They're not the greatest, but memes are meant to be something that we use to show the better of older content. It's basically just reuse and recycle. And in the real world, recycling's a good thing. It means that we get to use it again and it doesn't get wasted away. Original content, if we were to make it every time, old original content's just going to disappear into the ether. No one's going to get a chance to actually see it again. It will disappear because the new original content will come out of nowhere. But where's the original content going to come from? We can't keep making new things all the time. You're going to have to reuse something eventually, or you're just going to have a complete breakdown and nothing's going to work. And making it so that everything gets checked, everything, if it even matches it by somewhat. You've seen, for any of you who don't know, for anyone who may not know, the YouTube copyright system is complete horseshit. It has gone completely down the gutter, and even a 1-second clip of music will get you copyrighted immediately, without question. And YouTube give the decision up to the person who copyrighted that video in the first place. They do not give it to anyone else, just the person that sent the claim. They send the claim, you deny the claim because it's stupid, and if they say it's not stupid, that's it. You don't get a say. That just happens. And that's not how it should be dealt with. You should not just immediately get taken down. There should be a fair chance of saying, listen, I have taken this and I have made it better, I have made it stronger, and I have made it different. This shouldn't be immediately copyrighted. Some people have taken so much time into getting older content and mixing it together. There are entire fan bases dedicated to memes. Memes have become something that is absolutely incredible and can really, to be honest, some memes can even change the world. They can change people's lives for the better. Here's some strong but sad truth. Many people have felt depression and potential suicidal thoughts, but memes made their day. Now memes will be gone in the government. Thank you. It will be gone in Europe. Thank you, government. The problem is the government do not get how memes work. They do not get that it can be creative. They see, just like with every fan base, you see the bad side. It's difficult to show off the good side of a fan base because the bad side protrudes more. It shows off more. And it's just... Thank you so much, actually, Ori, for following, by the way. I apologise if I miss out any follows. I do not have my alert box enabled, so I don't see it. I don't want this to be about me. I don't want this to be about my channel. I just want this to be focused on the problem at hand, Article 13. Article 13 needs to be something... It's good. It can be good. It has the potential to be good. But it has to be rewritten first. It can't go with what it's currently got. SoundCloud would completely go to shit if that were the case. YouTube is already going to shit. It would go even more to shit. Twitch itself has been talked about by the founder himself and said it would just go completely downhill. Twitch people, Twitch streamers, Twitch broadcasters wouldn't be able to put out the content they put out now because everything would be noticed. Even this. Even something as small as Article 13 is a good idea, executed terribly. And that's 100% agreed. Even doing something like, I don't know, Pac-Man. And then... Hold on, let me find Pac-Man theme tune. If I go here, this could be copyright. Hold on. This could be copyrighted. This entire thing could be copyrighted just because of this. And it's completely retarded. That's not... Any small sound clip could immediately get you taken out of the game. There is no chance to get back at it. Mr. Jesse 1013 says Article 13 is still a thing. It is currently still a thing. They are rewriting it at the minute. From what I can tell, it's currently under being rewritten. But we need to make sure that it's still being talked about. Because if they rewrite it and they've changed maybe one thing, saying, oh, we'll give you the chance to do this thing, but the rest is going to stay the same. It's not fair. We need... Be sure to sign the petition. Yes, if you want to go and sign that petition that I'm currently on right now, it will be in the chat, so you can go and have a look at it. Oh, it gives me little things. Nice. But we still need to talk about it. It needs to stay... It needs to stay in circulation, and people need to keep talking about it, keep it fresh, keep it alive, and keep it going to let our voices be heard about what we're talking about. Article 13 could change the world, could change the entire internet as we know it. It will change everything. And reused content, memes, not just memes, remixes, spin-off games, video games made for other games, for example, or the FNAF fan games. Pretty much everything will be copyrighted. Because it exists. It will just... The bot will just see it. And if there's even the smallest match, it will immediately take it down. There is no say. Rip Cat Mario. Yes, we will lose Cat Mario. Do you see the obscenity and the urgency we need in this situation? I've been receiving 1 or 2 emails from Twitch, which is kind of what pushed me to do the stream as well fully. Because I wanted to talk about it anyway on some sort of social media, but I thought Twitch would be a good way to put it out there because it's live to an audience. Can't they just let it be like it is right now? Why does everything have to change? The problem is, there is often... Like I said, there seems to be this mentality where the worst of a fan base will always come out. You can't always show off the good... There's always good things, but you can never show... There will always be the bad side that shows off. For example, let's say furries. People always assume the worst in furries because that's just kind of the face of furries. That it's creepy, it's weird. It's the same here. The government assumes that the internet is just bad because it's the internet. There's always been these terrible stories of people committing suicide and cyberbullying and many other problems such as hacking and internet problems and government files being leaked. No one sees the good side that doesn't use the internet. Until you get involved in the actual fandom itself, you don't gain a proper understanding for what it is. So these 55-year-old men just sat in their chairs, seeing the internet as this terrible place where people circulate viruses and tell each other to go die in a hole and fuck off. They don't see the good sides of the internet. They don't see what the internet is truly, and they don't see it as the thing that it actually is, which is our home. It's our home. It's our place to be creative and to be expressive of how we feel. We can post up whatever we want. We can say whatever we want, because that's the point of free speech, and that's the point of freedom of expression. You should be able to say what you feel, and you should be able to do what you feel in a way you feel is correct. That's why, for example, memesters, they have their way by releasing out memes of things they remake. They take that time to try and make it better, to try and change it to something that could be even more amazing. For example, there's certain websites that let you make things better. For example, as an example, GitHub, they let you take open source code and they let you make it better. They let you change it what you think it could be better. You can go and give it to people. It's collaborative effort from everyone pretty much on the planet that has access to the internet. Everyone can get together and everyone can do something that can make the world a better place. The government is the typical parent, just with way too much power. Yeah, the problem with the government is it will always be kind of shitty, because I don't want to say exactly, because again, I don't want to get too political. I don't want to move into the wrong subject because we're sticking on Article 13. But governments have just always been a bit iffy. There's always going to be some sort of corruption because there's a lot of power involved. Governments have power to change entire countries. Governments have powers to change the entire world. And sometimes they'll just get a bit too much for that power. It's difficult to keep a good mindset when you're in this sort of situation. But it's just something that needs to be looked more into. It's being made by people that don't have experience with the internet. They don't know what truly goes on. They just see it for what it is in their eyes, which is viruses, cyberbullying, and complete bullshit. But there is a lot of it. I won't deny. There's plenty of bullshit, viruses, and hacking. But it's not all that. The internet is a fabulous place. It is somewhere where everyone can call home. Everyone's welcome. Every race, gender, nationality, sexuality, anything you are can go on the internet, because that's the point of the internet. Everyone can go onto it. And welcome Toasty the Real to our stream. And thank you so much for joining me on today's talk about Article 13. If you're not part of the EU at all, or not really part of any of this, by the way, if you don't wish to watch, that's completely fine. But if you still want to try and support anyway, in any way you can. Again, there is a petition in the chat if you want to go and have a look at it. I will leave a couple of... Oh, okay, Kadama, thank you so much for joining us. It's been lovely to have you on the stream. But if you can still support... Yes, they haven't felt the good side of it. They haven't seen the good side of it. They haven't seen what the internet can truly do. Charity live streams. What else? Saving people's lives. Getting out news stories. Giving people right information. Helping people out of depression. Just generally doing good things. The internet can do things that are beyond human imagination once it gathers up together and does the right thing. There are many stories of people helping out others. For example, let's say a website of GoFundMe. GoFundMe is a wonderful site in the sense that you're able to help people who need help. You can start up a petition for anything that you may need. And let's see, Laura's Fight for Life, but in Billingham, North East England. £31,000 raised just from people alone. London Greater in Age of Refugees for women and children against domestic violence. £126,675. The RIP for Connor Brown, who seems to have passed away sadly. RIP to him. £27,000 out of £8,000. This is just the internet alone. This is people just spending their time giving money to people who need it. But you don't. It's helpful to everyone. It helps everyone, and it can do wonderful things. You can give money to someone for anything. It can help so many people, and it's just not seen enough by the government. Internet must have been the biggest change in the world, and the government hates it. The problem is the government see it as a threat, and a lot of news articles as well see some things on the internet as a threat, so they try to bring the internet down almost, an entire collapse upon itself, so they can keep it censored, but they know sort of the algorithm. Again, I'm trying not to get it too off topic, but it's just there's a lot of people that want to corrupt the internet because they see it as too powerful. But that power can be used for good things. They just don't see it in that sense. I need to go. It's 1 AM for me, sorry. See ya. Well, thank you very much, Mr. Jesse, for joining us on stream. It's an honour for you to join us, and thank you so much for being here with us. It's very nice of you indeed. But you see that the internet can gather to do amazing things. Again, 4,942,000 signatures. That's insane. That's 4 million people who thought, yes, I want to save the internet. People can gather to do the most amazing things. The government just need to see it for what it is. The next one I have up, I'm going to bring up for a minute, is more mainly to do with the UK. So, I'm just going to bring this up slightly because I know I get a lot of UK viewers. Obviously, it's 11:17 PM in the UK right now, so I'm not going to have many. But for anyone who does see this, this is for the UK. This is a petition for if we were to leave the EU, then the UK will still be able to basically try and get the Article 13 out. Or at least rewrite it so it's better. We don't have to follow it, we can make our own for the time being. If it were to reach 100,000 signatures, the petition will be considered for debate in Parliament. So it will actually be considered at the time. The deadline is currently the 20th of March, which is coming up rather soon. However, it can still be signed for the time being. If you would like a link to this one, please be sure to say. I will put that in the chat as well. But this one's more built for UK viewers, and it's just a way of also getting rid of Article 13. Because if the UK can get out of it, maybe we can make a way to agree to try and get it out of other countries. We can set an example that having it is not a good idea. Getting it out of anywhere is good. Even if it's not the entire EU, just one place to start with is fine. That will do just fine. It will get it out there, and we can set an example. So instead of petitions, again, this petition will be put in the chat every so often. If you wish to go and sign it, please be sure to say. This is more for general European citizens. Now we move on to more of the sites that talk about the details of it. So the first one is hashtag Save Your Internet. And it will, first of all, take you to a link where you can raise your voice and choose from any European country. So you've got all of them: Finland, France, Germany, Greece, Hungary, Ireland, UK, Latvia, Lithuania. All of them you can go to whichever one is more appropriate for you, whichever country you're in, and you can go and talk to your MP, which is, I will, not Norway. Oh, it should be there. Norway. Norway. You should, there will still be a way to be able to talk to people in your local government. So if you, you'll definitely be able to find that on the internet somewhere, I'm sure of it. But this gives more of the information into what it is, what it's voted for, and why it was made. So in September 2018, MEPs voted for a version of the Copyright Directive, which will indirectly lead to implementing upload filters on most services used online, for example YouTube, Twitch, SoundCloud, and Twitter. Again, the link has been posted, so if you wish to, be sure to go and follow it. The European Parliament's Legal Affairs Jury Rapporteur, MEP Axel Voss, who is this man here, Axel Voss, then started the trilogue negotiations, closed-door informal negotiations, with the representatives of the EU member states and the European Commissions. These negotiations result in a trilogue agreement in mid-February this year. Despite massive criticism, the text has been made even worse than the EP's proposal. See Edry's short summary of the most important developments. So there are three big reasons. Obviously there's many other reasons, but there's three main ones. So it's bad for users. They'll have access to less content and will be unable to share their content with others, even when it's legal. Moreover, any complaint mechanisms will be easily bypassed if blocking is done under the pretense of a terms and conditions violation, rather than a specific copyright claim. So, even if it's not a copyright claim, it just comes under slightly bad violations of terms and conditions. If it hits one criteria, it's out. There is no second chance. It will be immediately taken. If for some reason EU would start a revolution, I would join. Yes, I feel like that'd be wonderful, because again, it has the possibility and the potential to do well. It just needs to be rewritten so that it does do well. It's going too far and it's going way too extremist to be able to actually do some good. It's bad for creators because if platforms become directly liable for the uploaded content, they will arbitrarily remove content based on their terms and conditions. As a result, many creators will see their content gets blocked too, and as less platforms survive the burden, creators will have less choice on where to share their creations. Not only will the creators be going down, the platforms themselves will be going to complete hell. They won't be able to keep up with how much content's being taken down because the upload filters have to take down whatever's going against the rules. Only platforms with deep pockets will be able to comply with the Article 13 requirements. Even if small enterprises get exemption, this simply means they are not allowed to scale up and compete with US platforms under the motto, in Europe, small is beautiful. But that means that competition goes down the drain. There is no room for second chance. There is no room for bigger corporations. There is no room for more people to be able to come and join. By the way, someone else has followed. Thank you very much, Toasty the Real. It's very lovely of you indeed. Very much appreciated for you joining us today. But competition won't be able to rise. It will just be, you stay at that, you get to a level, you stay at that level, or you go into the rules. And if you go into the rules, you're going to dip back down again. There is no chance to get big. Only the biggest places and the biggest corporations with enough money to be able to bribe the government, because who wouldn't do that, will be able to stay in the competition. They will be huge, they will be gigantic, and competition will disappear, because people have no other choice but to sign over to the dark side and choose companies that are way bigger with much more outreach. It's bad for everyone but the rich. It profits the rich. It keeps the rich going, because the rich can bribe themselves out of it to make even more money. The poor, however, slowly die out, and then there is no poor, and the rich just get richer. And it's a constant loop of complete shit. It can't go down the way it is. It still needs to be debated. It needs to be talked about. And the internet needs to be given a deeper look than what it currently is. They believe the internet to be a terrible place. It's not a terrible place. It has its terrible sides, but it's not a terrible place. People can be absolutely incredible, as we've seen from multiple things. So it's the French Revolution all over again. Oh, well, I mean, the French Revolution ended with them chopping their heads off. So, I mean, if it was, it'd be a pretty good ending in this situation. No, not really. Don't chop off any MEPs' heads. That's not appropriate situation. But that kind of makes the internet seem even worse than it is. But the point being, it needs to be sorted out. It needs to be rewritten. It needs to be looked into. And we can show that. And the way we can show that is sharing out our voices, is by acting, is by saying that it's not the way it looks. It can be done better. There is many resources on all of these websites, on the statements, the different things that have been going on with the government, and any things you want, but instead of France, the whole EU. Well, that'd be a lot of blood. But there's plenty of ways you're able to find out more information about it, what it does, exactly what it does, down to the finest detail. Of course, it would give the entire form saying what it's going to do before it actually goes... before it goes into circulation. And they will give you ways to be able to speak up your voice and say that you don't want this. Emails, calls, texts, videos, Twitch streams, many other ways you can tell people. Chris Demps, we need to dab on Article 13. I don't think dabbing will do much, but we could give it a try. I think they probably just hate us even more, to be perfectly honest. Oh, I see. I've received a wonderful DM just as I'm streaming this. Hallelujah. Anyway, getting back onto the thing, sorry. It still needs to be looked into, and we just need to make our voices heard to the people. If they realise that the internet's not as bad as it is, and we show that it's not as bad as it is, they will begin to see the better side of the internet. It's just that they don't at the minute. I'm going to move on to the final website I was able to find. Again, if you want to just search up Article 13 Petition, you'll find plenty of them. They'll be able to go through. You can send through emails. You can send through many other messages to your local MEPs who can do things that can help you in this situation. And the final one I wanted to move on to was Create Refresh, which was recommended by Twitch themselves, so I thought it'd be an appropriate one to show on the stream. So this one, creators from all over Europe are creating content by Article 13. So the content filters, it talks about the network, what it would do to people, what it means to people, what it stops, what it does, and generally the downsides of why it's terrible for the minute. I see, I'm getting a message. If you'll give me 1 second, sorry, I'm just going to quickly sort this, but I will be back. Hi there, welcome back. Sorry, I just needed to quickly grab a drink as well because my throat was beginning to get a bit sore. So I wanted to quickly grab that while I could. So, as I was saying about Create Refresh, they have quotes from people that how it would change. Raff, what is that image? Hello there, Eagle. It's good to see you on stream, buddy. We're currently just talking about Article 13, and the image is just the website. Again, if you want a link to any of these websites, be sure to say, and I'll be sure to put it in the Twitch chat so you guys can go and check it out if you wish to. All the information we put in the VOD below, if you want to go and follow it, I'll be sure to try and... Isn't Article 13 going to happen anyway? While it is still going to happen, we still need to talk about it. We still need to say how we want things to change, and it's better to talk about it it's better late than never. If we still were to talk about it, at least we're getting our message across and things can change. As we need to talk about it until the very last until the very last signature is put on that paper to turn things through. And we need to let our voices be heard about what's going on. I just wanted to make this because I've been receiving a couple of emails from Twitch about it, and I've been wanting to make something about it for a while now, but I never really got the time, so I thought now would be a better time than never to try and talk about it and say how we need to change things. One thing that I'd like to point out that is that Article 13 will change the lives of a lot of people. A lot of people I see on Twitch or on YouTube or on any sort of social media platform where they can share their voice do it because it makes them happy, and do it because it's somewhere where sometimes in real life they need somewhere to escape. And taking away the internet from people and the freedom to be able to express themselves is going to change that for a lot of people. It's going to make it a lot worse, and it's just not going to make anyone happy. And we need to make sure that that doesn't happen, because what's the point of just making people unhappy and letting them express themselves? If we're going to be on here, we need to be on here together, and we need to make sure that we're all looking out for each other whenever we're expressing ourselves. And getting rid of people's ways of expressing themselves is not the right thing to do. You can get rid of the people that are using it to make money out of other people's content, but not out of the people who are actually trying. What if T-Series came in clutch and made every bot they had sign the anti-Article 13 petition? I feel like it would probably go... I feel like the website might crash with how many T-Series has got, to be honest. I should probably not be doing that. Happy days. I'm not going to click on that anymore. But... Oh, it's like, I need to... Oh, shit. I'm just gonna... Hold on, let me... Task Manager, I'm just gonna... Where is it? I'm trying to find it. End the process, so I don't end up having any information stolen. Great. Oh, for God's sake. Alright, it's hold on a sec, let me switch back to just me. Hi there, I'm just going to switch back to this so I can change some things quickly so you can't see where I live. You probably have by now. Oh well, it's fine. Either way, we'll switch back to these. So, yeah, it just needs to be talked about more. T-Series is jealous of EU and their good internet. We do have much better internet than them, so we'll give them that. It probably takes them about 3 hours to upload 10 minutes. I'm trying to be funny, but it's not going to work. So, we just need to talk about Article 13 for as long as we live, for as long as it lasts. And it's important about how much we talk about it, because the more we talk about it, the more people are going to see why we talk about it. And they're going to realise the mistakes they've made. If we can convince everyone who's in the government to be able to talk about it and actually realise the mistakes that they're making, we're easily able to just generally make it better, make it better, and let them know what they're doing is wrong. You can't block out freedom of speech. Freedom of speech is there for a reason. If they were to make Article 13, technically they're kind of almost going against their own rules of the Geneva Convention of like freedom of speech and the ability to say as you feel. In a lot of countries that is blocked off, and that's a fair point to those countries where it is blocked off. But in the EU, it's not. You should be able to say what you feel. You should be able to say how you feel. And you should be able to put it in any way you feel is correct, as long as it's not hurting other people. Does Donald Trump have an opinion about Article 13? Yes. If it makes more money, he's happy. That's it. Let's move on. Article 13... This is probably the most I've ever said the words Article or 13 in my entire life. Just needs to be looked at. North Korea. Yeah, that's his opinion on pretty much everything. But it still needs to be looked at, and it needs to have it from the perspective of people who know what the internet's about. If you're going to change something, change it because you know it's bad. Don't change it because you feel like it's bad, because then it turns out to not be bad and you've suddenly gone down the shitter. You've ruined a lot of people's day. You change it if you know that it's going to end up being better that it's gone. If you get rid of that freedom, it's not good. You're just getting rid of a lot of people's ways of freedom of expression. Like, my Twitch channel means so much to me. This is the way I express myself, and this is the way that I essentially show off who I am as a person. I do this because I want to show people who I want to show off to the world that I am here. I know that probably sounds like a plea for attention, but it's not in that sense. I just like to make content because I like to spread out my person. I like to talk to people. I like to be with people. I like to show, I don't know, just generally do this as a way of showing that I am here, that I want to be seen, and I enjoy talking to people. And if people like me don't have Twitch, then you're not able to talk to those people. Sorry if I'm occasionally looking up. I'm currently looking at myself in OBS, but I need to look at you guys more, because you are the people who can change that. Todd Howard's dropped nukes to blow up Article 13 and hype for Fallout 5. It just works. I really wish you'd do that, because then we can, like, that's the beginning. That's the starting plan. That's how we begin out. We just kind of we just deteriorate them slowly. Then they can't sign Article 13. Or, better plan, we get rid of all of their pens and they can never do it again. You know what? I'm going to bring down how often it shows off Article 13 thing. Because it's every 10 minutes. We'll bring it down to every 7, let's say. Just so people can see it a bit better. Yeah. It just needs to be looked into. Will games get censored too? That's the problem. I'll be censored too. Because it means that you can't play video games because it's someone else's property. But the problem is, it's blocking video games. But the reason there's video game Let's Plays on the internet in the first place, it's basically promotion. If you get your game played by a YouTuber or a Twitch streamer, that's amazing. That means that you're getting your game out there. People are seeing your game, and there may be people who want to play it, who then go and play it. And then you get more people seeing it, and then you play more, and it's a constant loop of people seeing a game that then gets shared on the internet. But getting rid of that means that people can't be seen. People can't get their product out there. Competition not only goes down the drain for the platforms, it goes down the drain for the games. The games can't get out there. People won't see it, and it just slowly fades into the distance. People lose their ability to make that stuff, and they just don't see the point. There is no point. What's the point in making stuff if it's not going to get shown to anyone else? No one's going to see it in the first place. You could still play them, but not using others' gameplay. But that's a problem. The biggest way games can get promoted is through other people. If you lose that, you're losing a massive part of how you get proposed on the internet. People see that gameplay being played by another YouTuber, for example, Markiplier or Jacksepticeye, and they think, I'd like to play that game. It looks interesting. They go on the game, they play it, and then you get so many people flooding into your page. There's always these small indie games, and then they get played by Markiplier, and all of a sudden they get, like, immediately 50,000 downloads within the first hour, and it's just so many people immediately going, and it's getting that support from the fact that it's being promoted. It's everyone promoting each other. That's one of the reasons I love Twitch, because the ability of raiding and hosting, because that way then the people will just upload things on US servers, and that's the problem. The EU needs that as well. You get a lot of income from the EU. The EU is providing a lot of that. Obviously America's gigantic, so gaming channels will die. They won't die. It's just so much more difficult. That's the biggest problem. Can't have Article 13 take place in 2019 if there is no 2019. What? Oh, no, I get that. That's bad. But it means that everyone loses. There is no win. The only win is the people who are rich enough to be in the government, that then they don't have to worry about the internet because they have all the power. They just simply say what happens and that's it. Article 13 is a way to bring down the internet so people have more power. Richer companies, for example, like television companies. TV is going down the drain so much now with things such as Netflix coming in. In fact, if you didn't know, Netflix at one point, when they first started out, when they first made their company, proposed to Blockbuster that they should merge together, that Blockbuster should go with them, and they should basically make a partnership. Then Blockbuster said no, because we're doing fine on our own, we're gigantic, people rent stuff, physical copies, we're doing fine, we don't need you. Netflix started. Blockbuster is now out of business. Blockbuster no longer exists. It went bankrupt. Netflix is flourishing more than any other company on the planet for video streaming. It's easy, it's quick, it's simple, and it's just a way for companies to get rid of that. TV companies want their revenue back. The good thing about the internet is that it only takes one person. I am one single person. I am a single human being. I do not get any help with these streams other than Twitch servers. I am a single person who can go out on the internet and say how I feel. TV companies need at least a host, a cameraman, some people to set up electrical equipment. You need so many backstage people, all of them being paid at once. This was all. I can do this right now with what I've got for free. I can just click start streaming, the button for free, and I'm streaming to Twitch for free. This is all it's so cheap, it's painful compared to TV companies. But that's what TV companies are worried about. Because of that, they're losing out on that revenue. And welcome Streltzer to the stream. It's very Streltzer? Yes. Thank you very much for joining us on the stream. It's very nice of you indeed to join us. When Roger has had 6 bottles of vodka. You don't know me. I'm just a guy. But this is free compared to TV shows. TV takes so much to do, and they're losing out on that revenue, they're losing out on that income. So the way they're doing it is they're trying to get back at the internet by destroying it. They're trying to stop people from seeing things on the internet, so they switch back to TV and just give up on everything altogether. But that doesn't work, because the internet's so powerful. We can overcome it if we get our voice out there. Shut up, mate, I'll smack your dad's ass. Right, okay, so you seem like the sort of person that isn't very friendly. Also, you were made yesterday. I'm just gonna time you out for 600 seconds. Thanks very much, my man. Isn't Article 13 just about money? It is essentially at the end of the day. It's just TV companies and the government wanting to get rid of it so they can make more money. Because there's no point in having the internet if it means it's going to be worse for them. Because the internet's it's about power and money. Power for the government, money for the internet. That's the only things they two want. And getting rid of the internet does that perfectly. It's just getting it in one fell swoop, swishing it under the carpet and saying, farewell, Tinkerbell has disappeared, goodbye. But that can't happen. The internet is magical. It's so beautiful in what it can do. And it's a way for people to connect. But getting rid of that is not the right answer. Basically meaning people can't express themselves is not the right answer. The right answer is getting rid of the people who do the wrong things. Not everyone. You can't. Let's say there's a classroom of 5 kids. One kid's misbehaving, you punish all of them. That's not fair, because those 4 kids weren't misbehaving. They were being completely fine. But the one kid just decided to be a bit of a dick and basically go and steal some biscuits or something. I don't know. And you can't punish everyone for something that one person did. It's not fair and it's not right. It needs to be talked about, it needs to be changed, and it needs to be sorted out as soon as possible. Even if it was going to be done tomorrow, even if they were going to sign it tomorrow, I would still talk about it, because the point is, you're still getting the message across. There's still time. There's always time down to the very last second. Even before, you can keep going until that pen touches the paper to say finally it's done. You can keep talking until that point, because there is the possibility for things to change before that paper hits. You've seen the movies. They were about to sign the sheet, they were about to sign off everything, and then someone bursts through the door and changes it and then saves the day, and they become a hero and they get ice cream afterwards, because that's how it works when you're a hero. But you can talk to the last second. You can put your voice across till the very last second, and that's why we need to keep talking about it no matter what. So the government promises a better life for everybody, but they remove the major part of insanely many people, making some too poor to even pay their rent. That's the biggest problem. It still needs to be sorted. And I'm just trying to think of more words. I know this is very improvised, and I couldn't have made a script for something this long. I just wanted to say something, because I'm just one. To be honest, I am one streamer. I am small. I can't really do much, I'll give you that. I'm not really someone that could make the biggest difference in the world. But I can still make a difference. Any difference. Even if it's one signature to that petition. Even if it's just one signature, I am happy. Because that's one more signature towards a better internet. We need a revolution against the EU. That's the right answer. A crusade, my sir! But we need to just talk about it. We need to let people know. We need to let our MPs know. We need to let our MEPs know. We need to let the people know who are in the government. Viva la revolution on the government, remember. On the government, not me, the government. But it needs to be said. Because there are probably people on the government that don't know what they're even signing into. They're probably just signing it because it's another bill that's coming by. Because they don't know about the internet. They don't care for the internet. They just see a bill and think, oh, it's being signed, I'll sign it as well. If we let them know what it is, and they realise, yeah, I got your joke, nice try. But if they know what it is, they may change their mind. They may not sign, and that will change it. That will be one less signature, and that will be one more chance towards the better internet that we want. And we need to make sure that we tell everyone about it. Let everyone know what changes, what's going to happen, and what the complications are of doing it. I don't care if this stream doesn't go anywhere. I don't care if this stream isn't seen by anyone. As long as... obviously one signature would be nice, of course. But I'm still getting my message out there, and there is the chance that one person will see it. There is the chance that that one person will say something. And there is the chance that they will get that message to that MP, which will change their mind. Yeah, most in the EU are 30 or 40 plus. But that is a problem. Because a lot of people who can vote don't realise what the internet is. They don't know what it is correctly. They've not been on it properly. They don't know what it does, what it can do. And they need to see it for what it is. That it can change lives. That it can give people expression. It can give people hope. It can give people the ability to be able to say what they want to say. It's the chance for everyone. Crab's gone. Sorry, Granddad. I hate to do this to you, man. I hate to do this to you. Please don't do that to your granddad. But they need to know. And they need to see what we can do. This video may change someone's mind. If it does, that's brilliant. Because it means people can then see what the internet is for what it is. It's incredible. Censorship should not be something that happens on the internet. Obviously with China, they're kind of on their own. They decided to go apeshit crazy and a bit... So we left them on their own. But this is a country that had the ability to be free. The internet was free. Net neutrality is in place. There is no blockage. There is... if this comes in. People can't do what they want to do. And a lot of people are going to be upset by that. They won't have anything to do because the internet is their lives. For a lot of people, the internet is their entire livelihood. It's not just how they express themselves, it's how they fucking live. It's how they stay alive. And if they don't have that, where are they going to go then? Let's wait till they all die from age, then we strike. Yeah, it's going to kill them off eventually. Most of them are 55, 60. Hopefully they don't survive too long with all the penicillin and shit. But it's still a lot of people's life. If they get that blocked off, it's basically saying someone can't do their job. I'm not EU, so yeah. I mean, even if you're not the EU, I know a lot of people are like, oh, we're not the EU. We were in America. A lot of British people were still trying to help out with net neutrality laws. But no matter where you are, even if you're in the EU, Asia, America, North America, South America, Antarctica, for fuck's sake, you can still help. You can still change it. Because if this goes through... just like net neutrality, it will set examples for other countries thinking, oh, this went through, we can do that as well, and we can control what people see. Changing it, net neutrality was a meme from the beginning. Yes, even if it was a meme, it's still important that... Do you work at Subway? Because you just gave me a foot long. Alright, strange, but okay. We're more talking about net neutrality, whatever you want to do. The EU finds this video and does research, finds your channel, sees Lucky Charms. Oh well, so what? It's Lucky Charms, it's me eating cereal, I don't see the problem. I'm just saying, we still need to say something. And it just needs to be said. No matter what place you're in, if it sets an example for other countries, they're going to do it. They're going to see it's fine, and they're going to suddenly realise we can control our internet because this other country can. Okay, I'm just gonna time out this guy. Thanks for joining us on stream. Very nice of you indeed. Glad to see you go. But we still need to let them know, everyone know. If you say something, it's going to stop this, and other countries won't see it. They won't care, because they'll realise, oh, well, it went. Guess we won't do it because it didn't work for them. If it works for the EU, it will work for other countries, and they're going to do the same thing. It's a chain reaction. It just keeps happening until everyone does it. It's kind of how, like... It's almost primal instinct. One of the main primal instincts is if someone does it and it goes well. Dad, have you seen the pedophiles on Twitch? I don't see any pedophiles, just kids who give me a... I'm just going to delete the message. Can I delete the message? It won't let me delete... Wait a sec. Hold on. Yeah, thanks. Just don't want that on the stream. Look, I'm trying to keep this serious. I just want to say that... Again, we need to talk about it, and the more we leave it, and the more we leave it alone, the more people are going to see it as a good thing. It's not a good thing. It's terrible. It's written terribly, and it needs to be sorted out as soon as possible. Otherwise, it's just never going to be sorted. The more we talk about it, the more people see it. I know I'm repeating myself a lot. I can only say so much within the 50 minutes I've been doing so far. But we still, even repeating it, the more you repeat something, the more it stays in someone's mind. The more I repeat these things, the more it's going to stay in other people's minds. It's just, the more you talk about it. That's literally all you can do. Talking about it is the best thing to do. You can be a single person in your living room by yourself doing nothing. You can grab your phone out and just start streaming and say that you want to get things changed. I see I have received a message. Very nice. But you can still get things changed. You can be a single person just anywhere in the world and you can say something if you feel like it. That's the freedom. That's the lovely of the internet. That's the lovely part of the internet, because freedom of speech becomes real. Games making PG clean content Jackson. I'm just saying my point across. Article 13 can be a good thing, but it's not. And that can change if we say how we feel about it, which is complete shit. The more we talk about it, the more people see it, and the better it gets for us. The internet is a fabulous place. The internet, for me, is somewhere where I can go when I'm not feeling my best, because I often end up not feeling too great. Obviously, everyone doesn't feel too great. You can't be always happy in life, but this is my place, and my coping mechanism, personally, is where I go to feel better, and to see things that make me feel better, things that can change my mood and stop me from thinking awful thoughts. Exactly, you make so many friends as well, and you make so many great relationships, and some people you even meet over the internet can end up being your fucking wife or husband, for God's sakes. It can change your life for better. It can change your life for life. It can just change it forever. And it can do so many wonderful things. It can drive people away from depression. It can save people's marriages, people's lives. It can save people's just general livelihoods. It can give people a hope that there is someone out there for them. Because being stuck in a certain place, you're only going to get a message of yourself so far. The internet lets you put your message everywhere. Every single place that has access to the internet, which is fucking everywhere at this point. It's somewhere everyone can go. Like I said, sexuality, nationality, gender, age, fat, thin, or rich, poor, all of it. You can go on the internet and you can find someone that can make you feel better for who you are. I'm going to move over to just me for a minute because the petition is going on, so you guys know about the petition. But it could be a wonderful thing. It can change someone's day, it can change someone's life, and without the internet, I wouldn't be who I am today. I wouldn't be the person that I am. I wouldn't be the happy-go-lucky jackass that's streaming on Twitch whenever he feels like it. And I wouldn't be enjoying my life as much, because the internet is where I can feel safe. It's somewhere where I feel I can go in any situation. Being a teenager isn't easy. Being a human being isn't fucking easy. It can get really difficult, but the internet can help you with that. There's a lot of places in the world where people don't have somewhere to go, to someone to talk to. And I'm just going to delete that message. I want to keep this serious. This is a serious stream. If you're going to mess around, then, I mean, at least keep it relevant. I'm just saying, it's somewhere where people can go if they don't feel right, they don't feel safe. Because it's some hope, that little light down the tunnel that can change someone's day, change someone's life. For example, me. It changes my life. It makes me feel happy. I can see people and talk to people that I never thought I'd meet in my entire life. They make me feel feelings I never thought I'd feel. And it can make me get to know people that just change me and make me a better person. And let me be able to do these sorts of things. I can meet communities, I can meet entire groups of people that change my day. And a lot of the time, there are a lot of people in my real life that make me feel sad. Even people that I sometimes say my friend can upset me quite a lot. I don't want to say, because I know it's a bit of banter a lot of the time, but it does upset me sometimes, and it makes me sad. So the internet's... Thanks, Raph. It's really sweet. I know, I'm sorry to get sad, but I just mean it. It's somewhere where a lot of people can escape. Obviously, real life is important. You need to make sure you make the most of real life. But the internet's a nice way to feel better and to feel safer. And a lot of the time, the internet's not as bad as people think. It can be a bit of a shit. I've had a couple of bad experiences on the internet as well. Nowhere's perfect. Nothing is perfect. But it can change anyone's day. And there's been a lot of times where the internet saved me from doing some really stupid shit. Finally, something I can agree with a furry about. Welcome, Boss Rafael, to the chat. It's nice to have you join us. I'm just saying, it's our home. It's our way of removing the internet means removing the world's biggest part of the history, sending us back to the 1980s. Yes, it is. Because back in the 1980s, it was just beginners. It was the most simplistic possible way of internet. Having it now, it's so advanced it hurts. Millions upon billions upon trillions of calculations constantly going. You guys realize VPNs exist. I'm just saying, for a lot of regular people, they don't know how this stuff works. And having the internet as it is now is what keeps them going. If that changes, there is no way of changing it back because it's controlled by the government. And we need to make sure that we're constantly talking about it no matter what. Yes, hopefully they will. It's just, it's better to prevent something. It's better to prevent something than to try and revert it. Because a lot of the time, the government have no idea what they're fucking doing. They don't even know where they're going. They don't know where they actually are at the time. If you've seen the UK Houses of Parliament, it's a complete shithouse. There is no possible organisation. It could take years to revert back to what it was. They'll realise they'll get damaged, but they'll be too lazy to get out their 50-year-old arses to actually do anything in the first place. It's better to prevent something than try and revert it. It's like saying, oh, it's fine. We'll have a zombie apocalypse and then we'll just revert it by killing all the zombies. It's fucking worthless. Because the damage has already been done. There's already been the damage and a lot of people may have already suffered from it. It's better to stop it before it starts in the first place. Thank you very much, Max, for joining us on the stream. It was very lovely to have you with us. I really hope you get some good sleep. And I realise it is currently midnight. So apologies to anyone who's watching where it is quite late. But thank you for joining me on stream. It really does mean a lot. And I want to start making more streams about this. I am going to start voicing my opinion more. Because I feel it's still important to talk about it no matter how long we have left on Article 13. I want to get my opinion across. I want to get my voice across. And I want to say how I feel about this. Because that's the point of social media. So you're to say how you feel. It just hurts to see someone attacking home. And if someone were to attack your home, I'm sure it would hurt. It's the same feeling of someone trying to destroy the place that makes you who you are. And trying to destroy your hopes, your relationships, your expressive feelings. Like I said, please keep it serious. I know that's probably a somewhat weird. Sucks dick, to be honest. Agreed. It does suck massive, huge penis. But it can be made better. And it can be changed. We just need to get our voices out there and say how we feel about it. The UK are blocking porn to people that can't provide proof that they're over 18 on the 1st of April. That's fine. They'll find ways to get through that eventually. Games, I'm going to send you some funny vids since you seem so... I'm not mad. I'm not angry or... I'm not angry. That's not... Oh, could I get rid of that as well? Thanks, man. I'm not angry or upset. I mean, obviously I'm upset, but I'm not mad or anything. It just really hurts to see someone trying to attack the place you love the most. Because it's basically someone trying to say, fuck you, and burning down your house. Like, you don't want your house burned down. That kind of sucks ass. No one really wants their house burned down. Check DMs. I'll be sure to have a look in a minute. It means a lot that you want to try and cheer me up, I guess. Thank you. But I'm not angry. I'm just determined to show that the internet can be seen as better, and it has so many possibilities. It's just being held back by people thinking they know how everything works, but they don't. They don't know what they're fucking doing with themselves. They don't even know where to fucking start. They're just trying to change things so they can make it better on themselves. As long as they're improving their lives, who gives a shit about other people? I know I'd probably seem angry now, to be honest. That's a fair point. I'm just... Again, this is all completely improvised. I've just talked for an hour straight, which I don't know how I fucking did. It's been going on for a while. They actually believe it's a good thing because they don't understand the internet. Exactly. That's what I've been saying a lot. It doesn't benefit anyone. And that's what I was saying. A lot of them don't even know what they're actually signing up to in the first place. They just see a bill and they sign it because apparently everyone else is. It's the primal instinct of doing something because everyone else is. It's like yawning, for example. You yawn and everyone else does, because it's the primal way of doing things. You just see it. Also, we have received another follow, and I would like to thank... hold on a second. I believe we've received another follow, I think. Oh, I thought we had. Apologies. They're kind of stupid for it. It's called group pressure. True! It's the idea that someone else is doing it, so you do it as well. You just go ahead and go and sign the petition. But if we let them know what it does, and we let them know how it does it, it will probably affect them too. And they'll see what damage they're going to do, so we can stop it beforehand. What kind of world leader succumbs to peer pressure? What the fuck is wrong with the world? That is a big question, to be honest, that we could probably never answer. There's so much wrong. But we can make things right. We can make a difference by talking like this. Even if it's a tiny stream, like I said. I've gotten a maximum of 7 viewers tonight. But people have seen. People have heard. People have heard the message. And they can go and sign this. I'm going to bring down the frequency of which it comes up, by the way, a bit more. Because it's still not coming up very much. I want to bring it down to like 5 minutes. Oh, yes. Thank you, Murray Guana, for following. That's very nice of you. There was a talk where the US senators were asking Google employees whether or not they can be tracked, and they replied they need to use the phone. The senators then refused and accused them of lying. That is a big problem. There was a talk about where US senators were asking Google employees whether or not they could be tracked, and they replied they need to see the phone. The senators then refused and accused them of lying. And that is a problem. The senators, a lot of them, they don't know what actually the internet is. They just see it as this big place where a lot of people go to shit. Local-based connections would solve a lot of this. Copies of web data. It would also unload server stress nationwide. Plus the way we could re-establish the value of the community networking. That is a good idea. That is one way of changing it. A lot of local-based connections. But that's kind of the internet. It's just a lot of LANs connected together. The internet is basically the biggest WAN on the planet. It's just a lot of LANs connected to a lot of local-based connections, but keeping a lot of copies, and it would stop a lot of the copyright problems. They're just doing it too far. It's kind of the middle ground, and then they're going completely far. They're going off fucking screen at this point of how much they're doing. It's showing how much they don't understand. They don't know how it works, and that's the biggest problem of all. They need to see how it works, and we can show them how it works by showing our voice. Yeah, because there is a window out there actually, so good call. But we can show them how it works, and we can show them what's wrong, what's right, and what we can do to change that. They just need to listen to us, and that's why getting more and more voices out there is great, because it means we can get our voices out there, and more people see it. Oh my god, wonderful, absolutely wonderful chat I can see. But the more we show them, and the more we tell them the information, the more they know to change their mind. And we can change it. Everyone can change it if we work together. Like I've said, the internet is a fabulous place. It can do incredible things. It can change anyone's life. And it could change a senator's life. It could change their perspective on the entire internet as we know it. We just need to let them know and tell them what it means to be part of the internet. The internet is one of the greatest things to ever come to humanity. We can't fuck it up now, because it can change the world for the better. Just need to make sure that it does its job. And we need to make sure the government do their job, not fucking everything up. Can we get a picture of the dude who wants Article 13 with the Nerf gun and a fidget spinner? I would actually quite look. Why do I feel like I'm watching a protest, but it's just one person? That's the great thing. It's one protest, but it's one person doing it by themselves who's getting it out there to people, and it's changing their opinion. Because it's a protest genius. But it can still change it. You can still make a difference, even if you're one person. And that's why we need to change it, because anyone can do it. We can all get our message out there. We just need to make sure we do. You need to actually start doing things. Again, sign the petition. I'll put it in the chat again, because it's going to show up at some point. Hopefully I don't post it and then immediately... I'll paste it there now for anyone who wants to go and sign it. Yeah, that one. But you can go and make a difference. People can go and make a difference. You can do what you feel is right, because that's the point of freedom of speech. But getting rid of it gets rid of that freedom of speech. And we need it. I will be just 1 second, sorry. Hi, I thought I was on break. Apologies. Yeah, oh well, but I'm just saying, we need to make a difference. and we need to be able to... Yeah, no, I realised that I was just muted, sorry. I'm just saying that we need to make a change, and we need to do something. I'm going to be bringing up this topic a lot more in the near future, and I want to try and talk about it more and get it out there more just while we have the chance. So, hopefully, you guys... Oh, what? No, I'm not muted. Anyway, what an epic Twitch fail conceptual. I'm just saying we need to make a difference. We need to make a change, and the first thing to do is by going onto somewhere like this place and signing a petition. It's the smallest thing you can do. It's all you have to do, and you can still make a difference with that. You forgot the hood got almost in the shot died. Well, I want to thank everyone for joining the stream today. It's meant a lot for you being here, and it's meant a lot for me to be able to get my opinion across. Like I said, I'm going to try and bring this up a lot more, and I just want to get my opinion out. And I hope you guys can join me in trying to make a difference to make the world the better place that it can be if we work together as a team, because that's what the internet is. It's just the biggest fucking team I've ever seen in the world. So, thank you very much for watching my stream. I hope you all have a wonderful evening. I'm going to very quickly get ready to go. And I want to thank you so much for joining me on tonight's stream. I hope you all have a wonderful evening, and farewell, my friends. Goodbye. I'm just going to wave my other hand. Goodbye.